Hey you guys, and welcome to my channel, Midnight Munchies and More. I am Charisse, and today we're going to make some protein balls, like the energy protein balls. We're going to do it 3 different ways. If you didn't see the thumbnail, we're going to do it 3 different ways and see which one's like best, what's like the better calories, like the better protein specs, you know what I mean? And then also see which one just tastes the best and is easiest to make, to be quite honest. So we're going to do like a brownie batter, like protein ball, and then we're going to do like the more traditional peanut butter one. And then we'll do like a blackberry cheesecake one. Oh my God, I'm so excited to try them. The full written recipes will be linked below, midnightmunchiesandmore.com. And let's just jump into it. Let's start with the brownie protein balls. So I'm going to use the Bob's Red Mill almond flour because it's super fine. I used Target last time and it was like really good, but I'm curious to see how much better this may or may not be. So we're going to do a half of a cup. Fourth, and a fourth is a half. I'm putting this all in my sifter because I feel like it needs, I don't know, I feel like it needs to be sifted because it's all like clumpy. And I feel like protein powder gets clumpy too. If I can open this, this is my favorite protein powder. You can use whatever kind of protein powder you want, but I prefer this one. I've just been using it for years. Even like I started using it when I was vegan, and I'm not vegan anymore, and I still use it. That's how much I love it. So we're gonna do 2 scoops of the chocolate protein powder. My husband's cutting parchment paper, if you can hear that. He's busy helping me because he's the best husband. And then we're going to add some cocoa powder. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons. I'm just using Good and Gather. See, it's all like clumpy bits. We really need to sift it. We got to sift it. I feel good about sifting this. I love a hand crank sifter. I feel like it just makes life so much easier. A lot of these things that I'm using will be on Amazon. I'll link those below. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of almond butter. I'm just using the Good and Gather. Listen, I'm sure any almond butter will work. I do the stir kind, the one that doesn't have any extra sodium added to it. You live your life. You could even do peanut butter, cashew butter, all the butters. It doesn't really matter. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Every time I use maple syrup, it reminds me of Elf. Is that just me? Anybody else? Just going to give it a little bit of stir to start ourselves off, and then if we find that it's a little too dry, we can always add a little bit of extra water to moisten that almond flour. We're going to need it. Let's do 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm using this Danish dough whisk. I don't know, I just like felt good about it. I just recently bought it, and now I'm just using it for all of the things. All right, now I'm going to move over to balling. So I put some gloves on. You guys don't have to use gloves, but I don't know. I don't want to mess up my nails. I just painted them and I just feel good about it. You guys, this already smells like brownie, okay? It smells like brownie batter and I'm living and I'm so freaking excited. Then we're just gonna roll these into balls. So this next part is optional. If you don't want to add any extra calories, like don't, but I do because it's me. So we're gonna roll it in our balls and then we're gonna kind of dip it in these little chocolate chips, these mini chocolate chips. You're not gonna be able to roll the whole thing, which is okay. That would be aggressive. But then you're just gonna kind of squish them in a little bit so they look like this ball. And then we just keep on keeping on. Easy peasy, our brownie protein energy balls are done. So I'm gonna put them in the fridge, let the flavors marry a little bit, let that almond flour moisten up a little bit more, and they should be perfect really soon. Peanut butter balls. Peanut butter balls. Peanut butter jelly time. No, okay. Peanut butter honey time. Peanut butter honey time. Growing up, I used to have peanut butter and honey sandwiches. It was like my favorite. I didn't like peanut butter and jelly. I still don't really like peanut butter and jelly. It's not really my vibe. But peanut butter and honey is my vibe. So that's kind of what we're going off of here today with these peanut butter energy protein balls. We're going to start again with our Bob's Red Mill almond flour, super fine. And we're going to give it a little sifterunio. So I'm going to start with 1/4 cup. Then we're going to move over to our Orgain protein powder. I'm going to use vanilla this time. So we're going to do 1/2 cup of this guy. And again, everything is just like a little clumpy. So I can't specify sifting your ingredients enough, especially when we're using something like protein powder and almond flour. I wonder if there's such thing as peanut flour. Probably not. Then we'll just do a little sifty. You can use whatever peanut butter you like. I prefer this kind of peanut butter because the only ingredients in it is peanuts. Like no salt, no oil, nothing. So I highly recommend you get it at Walmart for like just over $3. Do 1/2 cup of that. I love these ramekins so much, you guys. I use them in my air fryer when I'm heating up like some pasta or something like that. They just work so great. And to be fair, I use them as my cereal bowls too. Like they're my main bowls. I love them so much. I'm going to do 1/4 cup of honey, The kind in the bear works just fine. A half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, I'm going to come in here with my Danish dough whisk because I just feel good about it until I can't use it anymore, and we'll move over to our hands. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I wanted to add a couple tablespoons of mini chocolate chips too because I had them left over from the brownie ones, and I figure why not? Peanut butter and chocolate go great together. Just clean off our whisk here. Do you see how easy like stuff comes off of it? This is just, it's the best invention. I thought like when all the sourdough girlies were like, get you a Danish dough whisk, I was like, that's not necessary. And then I got one and I was like, okay, it's totally worth it. And move in with our hands. Make sure all of our flour and protein powder is moistened up here. This is good. Oh my God, it smells so good. I can't wait. Again, we're just gonna take a little bit and make some balls. And voila, we have peanut butter protein energy balls. I'm going to put these in the fridge. I will say I probably could have used like an extra tablespoon or two of the almond flour because these are a little bit stickier than I would like. But I didn't feel like adding more. So that's just where we're at with that. I'm just telling you for the future if you make this. But hopefully maybe when we put them in the fridge and let the flavors marry and the almond flour moisten a little bit more, maybe they'll be a little bit better of a texture. I'm really excited to try these ones. So this is like a Blackberry cheesecake energy protein ball bonanza. So we're going to start with sifting. You got it. You got it. We're going to sift. Girl, we go sift. Okay. I'm going to do coconut flour this time. Again, we're using Bob's Red Mill. We love him. He out here. He out here in these streets. So we're going to do half of a cup. So a quarter plus a quarter equals 1/2. Then I'm going to use the same one in here because that's what I'm not going to wash it. I don't know what to say about that. We're going to use a half of a cup of our Orgain vanilla protein powder. 1/4 of a cup plus a 1/4 of a cup equals a 1/2 cup. And then I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of this Splenda Magic Baker. You can use just regular sugar. That's fine too. But I don't know, trying to make it a little bit healthier where we can. You know what I mean? So we're going to do 3 tablespoons. I'm going to go ahead. I don't think this really needs sifting, but we're here anyway, so let's just sift it. And we're just going to sift away. We're just going to set this aside, and we're going to add some things to our Ninja Action, whatever sort of blender you have. I have a Ninja. I highly recommend. I'll link that below as well. It's like Vitamix vibes, but like a fraction of the cost. I love it. I've had it for a while now. I love it. So we're going to add some cottage cheese to this. We're going to do a 1/4 of a cup of cottage cheese. So this is the cottage cheese that I use. In the last video that I did with the cottage cheese Greek yogurt bagel comparison taste test, which if you haven't seen that, you should go watch it. I was coming at some of you guys who were buying out this cottage cheese, but we were able to find it finally. It's like the only one that I can find that's no salt added and low fat. I love it so much. I use it for all of the things. You know what it's really good in? Lasagna, like instead of ricotta, doing cottage cheese. Oh, so good. So anyways, we're going to do about a 1/4 of a cup of that. Now listen, if you want to use like cream cheese, that's totally fine, but like why not add some extra protein while we're at it? You know what I mean? And then we're going to add about a half a cup of blackberries. You can do blueberries, would be really good with this. Just a little squeeze. Oh no, I got a seed in there. Look at how beautiful that color is. I'm so excited. So we're just going to unscrew this guy. That's a beat. Hand it to our beautiful husband. And then we're just going to get it all out. Oh my God, it tastes so good already. And then again with our Danish dough whisk. Look at how pretty. Summer vibes. And come in there with our hands. You guys, I'm having flashbacks. The cottage cheese bagel flashbacks. So I guess you need a little bit extra cottage cheese than what they tell you when they tell you to use cottage cheese in something. Okay, so I added a tablespoon of water. Again, just like I was saying earlier, if it's a little drier, add a little bit of liquid. If it's a little bit liquid, add a little bit of dry. Shoot, chocolate chips would be good with these too. I just want to add chocolate chips to all of them. These made a lot of big balls. I'm going to put these in the fridge again and then come back and we'll try them and we'll see which one is the best and which one I would recommend. Or maybe all 3. I don't know. You guys, we have balls. Let's just go in order in how we made them. So we'll start with the brownie ones. Let me give you a little up close and personal situation. Each one of these balls is 104 calories and 5.3 grams of protein. So let's see if they're any good. Oh my god. You gotta try this. Mmm. You know what they taste like? Oh my god. These taste like Little Debbie Cosmic Brownies. Like, they're kind of a little off. Like, they're not a real brownie, but they're like very nostalgic flavor. Greg's shaking his head. Yep. They're legit like the Cosmic Brownies. These are so good. These are the peanut butter ones, and they're 131 calories for 5.8 grams of protein. And they're a lot softer than I meant them to be. I said earlier, probably add more almond flour. You know what would be really good? If you didn't put chocolate chips in them and you just dipped them in chocolate, like almost like a Buckeye kind of vibe. Like a Buckeye kind of vibe.
Yeah, you dip that in chocolate, it's totally a Buckeye.
That's a Buckeye. Which I do have a Buckeye recipe on this channel in my shorts, I believe. Those were a 10 out of 10. But I think if I were to make Buckeyes again, I'd just make this because then it'd be like, quote unquote, like healthier. Listen, these Blackberry cheesecake ones, they don't look like much. They really don't look like much. But let me tell you, these are only 43 calories per ball. Now, they're only about 3.8 grams of protein each, but you could eat 2 of them and they'd still be less calories than one of those balls. So I really hope that they taste good. It's a little doughy, like stodgy kind of. They're good. And at 43 calories, I would eat them. But I think I would want to add a little bit extra blackberry and a little bit of extra cottage cheese instead of adding the water at the end like I did. I think that would help bring out the flavor a little bit more. I'm sad these weren't like a slam dunk. It's like it's almost there. I probably mess around with these just a little bit. My favorite's the brownie ones. I mean, Greg's shaking his head. Greg's favorite's the brownie ones too. They're kind of the medium as far as like the specs or whatever, which I'll put the nutrition facts on the actual written recipe that I'll link below on my blog, midnightmunchiesandmore.com. But I think these are like the best bang for your buck. I would make these over and over again. Okay, you guys, this is future Charisse. So I remade these Blackberry Cheesecake protein energy balls. I just wasn't happy with the other ones and I wanted to give them a fair chance. I ended up keeping the same amount of coconut flour in them, but then I added like 2 ounces of cream cheese and then I added 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, but did not use a Splenda Magic Baker. And I added about 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So let's give these a whirl. Also, they yielded about 3 more balls and they are now 59 calories per serving and 3.3 grams of protein. So it's a teeny bit, like 0.5 grams less of protein and a little bit more calories. But let's see if it's worth it. They look pretty much the same. The texture is different. I didn't have to add water to these like I did the other batch. So I'm really excited. Oh, the texture is way better. They're definitely more cheesecakey. They're still kind of gritty from the coconut flour, like a cheesecake cookie dough vibe. It's so much better. If you want to make the like less sugar, because the maple syrup has more sugar than like a Splenda, because that just has sugar alcohols, I believe. So if you want to make like the healthier ones, you can make the other version. But if you want to make like a little bit more unhealthy but more delicious ones, make this one. I'll put both of those recipes in the blog post and the written recipe information. Just, I don't know, you got do whatever you want. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you like my balls. I had some little balls, some big balls, and I'll catch you next time. Okay, love you, bye.